Hey guys, I want to make this really clear. You go to a site like flippa.com, we're not selling domains after all. We're selling full-scale websites. No one wants to tear them down. We don't want to sell the domain name. We want to sell the entire asset stream that we build up on somebody's behalf. So we're creating informational websites. You could also call them content websites because they're full of content. And then you plug in like AdSense. Why would you plug in AdSense? To give Google a reason to also want to rank you higher. So you give Google really decent, organized, quality pages and say, hey, I'm going to pitch your ads on my pages. And Google's like, okay, go for it. I'm going to rank you high. Okay? That's a give and take, but a really good give and take. Now, I'm going to go over a couple of things real fast, but the first thing I want to go over is this. How do you figure a website like that is worth? Do you know? Like, if you were to sell an asset that was producing a certain amount of money by the month, how much do you sell it for? Well, say it makes $1,000 a month pretty consistently. Then the more consistent that's been, the more you can sell it for going forward, up to a certain point, obviously. But if you were to sell it for $40,000 to $50,000, it would make sense. $40,000 makes the most sense. 36 would be an easy rounded number, 3 years in advance. So something that's producing $1,000 a month, a guy will pay you 36 months of that right now to have it if it looks like it's going to exceed that moving into the future, right? Now, a lot of guys know that they have to gamble, so they buy different things with their money. You know, maybe they're paying $10,000 on your site. That doesn't mean they only have $10,000. They might have $300,000 this month alone to work with, and they're buying 30 sites in case 5 of them make all their money back. Okay? But they're going to be as good as they can with each of the purchases they make. They're going to think it through. And one of the biggest things they're doing when they gamble is just see, are you level? If so, for how long have you been level? Are you on the upswing? If so, has it been on the upswing for a long time? That's like worth 50, 60, even 60 times as much money, that kind of thing. Because if they've been growing on their income for years, I mean, you've got the mother lode, right? Anybody wants to buy that for the largest amount of money because it's just solid. It's time tested and still working. Most cases, that's not true, though. Websites aren't expected to last more than a few years, okay? Maybe 7. And so the most worth you're going to get out of a website is like 7 years, unless you're really married to what you're doing. You keep doing new things with it. Anyway, when a guy buys from you, what if you're just getting a real strong upswing now for a short period of time? All right, that's worth about 30 months, about 2.5 years up front pay from what that trend looks like, what it's gotten up to. Bing, you know, it's on the rise and it finally got there. Take that number and multiply by about 30. Okay, if that's your monthly. If this is month by month, it's been rising and it got to this month here, maybe 3 months in. Take that and multiply by about 25 to 30 and you're going to have a sale price. Some guys there might negotiate it down. Maybe you thought 30 is the upper end, 25 I'm going to make it cheaper, and a guy negotiates and says, can I get it for 20? And you might just say yes. 20 times your money in a couple of months. Okay, a month of build plus a month of rise plus like half a month of selling, two weeks of it being listed for sale before you start hearing offers. Okay, normal, not weird, normal. Now, having said that, websites can go for a lot. Now, I think you understand. So if you get the revenue up to $1,000 a month, then the site should sell for $20,000 right now. Okay? Now, there's 2 ways to show that kind of valuation. Okay? One is this. You show it based on the click value. It's like we've got 48,000 people coming by the month. If you were trying to pay per click, if you were trying to do it cheaper, you'd be spending $25,000 a month. So which would you rather? Spend $25,000 a month for the next 20 months? Or would you rather gamble and spend 20 times over one time, like $20,000 once, and ride that out for as long as you can? The guy will probably gamble. If the results look something like this, the guy will probably gamble. Okay, this looks good. This looks great. Okay, he'll pay you 20K just based on this value right here that we show. We can show them the SpyFu value by itself. This is a valid thing to count because they estimate what the pay-per-click would be if somebody were to scroll that low and still you were in advertising position. Okay, now keyword by keyword, right? They'll look at this and go, wow, it's been on the rise for 3 months. It's up 390,000 total positions. To the positive. Take all the positive minus all the negative. Maybe it had 500,000 up, 110,000 down. If you add all those positions up, you get 390,000 up. Great, right? And 1 month even, just instead of the last 3 months, what about the last 1 month? And that's 2/3 of that. Well, a little less, half. But still, it's been doing this and half of it's just been here. You know what that means? Lot of power. So guys are like, wow, you show me a graph like that, you show me numbers like this, you show me numbers like these for here, and I will pay money. Okay, one way to do it. What's the other way to do it? Show the AdSense income you're making from the pages. If you've got all this AdSense in here, that's an ad to click on. That's another one. These are things to sell. That's incredible, right? Affiliate income. Let me see, that's another ad. I do the affiliate income here. I'd be selling the Celsius drink, right? Another ad. This guy's got income from both ads and Celsius drink sales. Do you get it? Another ad, another ad. And then an ad at the bottom. Yeah, I mean, once you figure out what you're selling, this guy decides he's selling Celsius and you can buy it. You want to bet this is coming off that guy's account at Amazon, right? This is cool. This is how you do this stuff. You don't sell Celsius, you answer the question, how much Celsius can you drink in a day? And make that really cool, and then give them a good overall price if they want to buy in bulk, because apparently they do if they ask this kind of a question in the first place. How much can you buy in a day? Right? So, show the ad revenue. How much is the website earning? Well, with this many visitors, I mean, think about it. It's just the people are walking by like it's a constant shop open. Probably 24 hours a day people are coming through here. And it's huge. It's what? It's, how much is that? 1,500 people a day, right? Something like that. A little more. 1,500, 1,700 people a day are going through pages that all have ads on them, basically. Okay? God. So, those are the two different ways you could show the number. Which number do you show? The better one. Or show them both and then point out how much you're charging. Doesn't matter, right? Now, by the way, why do I keep seeing this? Because I went to Twilio. I want to make a point. Say you're the Twilio company and I built this site and I want to pitch you. First, I wouldn't have done it with Celsius. I would have done it with pages that relate to Twilio somehow, relate to what they do. And I would talk about what they do so that people who are curious about that can see Twilio, right? Then I'll say, hey, Twilio, tell you what. You buy this site that's all about Twilio, okay? And you're going to want to show your ads up in here. Or all about communications. Sorry, not about Twilio, about communications. But while people are reading about the communications, the way to use forwarding phone numbers, text, and two-factor authentication and everything else, we're going to have you there as the man on all those pages. Now, how do we choose that? How do we make sure that his ads show up on our site? Twilio, sign up for AdWords and include our website in your advertising. Say you're willing to advertise on our website. That's this one over here, Oxbow Tavern. Okay? It's the one you're going to be buying. So it's really going to be your website. But say you're willing to show the ads on oxbowtavern.com. Okay? Then, instead of paying per click, pay per cost per CPM, pay cost per 1,000 views. Okay? And then what we're going to do is on Oxbow Tavern, we're going to say there's only one advertiser allowed, and that's you, Twilio. So you're the only ones advertising here, okay? And that means if you're the only ones, there's no bidding war. If there's no bidding war, then your costs don't rise, okay? And then that means you get the cheapest, you're showing 5 times on one page means you're showing to 200 different people for a penny, whatever it costs for the CPM, for the 1,000 views. So if you're showing your ad 5 times for a penny to 200 people, maybe it's a nickel these days. I don't know how Google puts the bottom end of that, but it's freaking cheap. And it's on pages about communications. You're going to maximize your sales. 1 in 100 will click on you. What do I know? You know? So that costs you what? A penny? Half a penny? So how many guys does it take to make a sale once they click on you, right? That kind of thing. And so the amount of money, especially recurring income streams like that, the amount of money is insane. There are a lot of ways to play this off. I had somebody say, what if Google doesn't want to rise you up so hard because you're limiting how much they have to pay and making them the only advertiser? Aha, then here's what we'll do. We'll cut out placeholders in the pages that we make on our sites, so we can put your ad design up in here, whatever you've got, okay? We'll put your stuff up in here. And then that way your ads look like typical ads that are clickable, okay? But they won't be through Google, so you won't pay anything. But in other spots on the page, we'll use regular Google AdWords in a couple of these spots where Google gets to choose who shows up and stuff like that, right? So yeah, you're going to share some of those spots with them, but then Google definitely has the desire to rise you back up again, okay? And you have that desire because you're in there. You don't even need the top spot. You could give it to Google. This might move the pages up the highest, but that's because when people land here, they had a question. And their question is not about your ad. So let that be a Google ad. By the time they start answering, that can be a Google ad. By the time they start answering and they get down, this could be your packages. You know, we can have your pitch down here somewhere. That could be yours, whatever. And then you can close it out with some Google ad or something like that, right? Get yourself smack into the middle of the action where people are actually interested, okay? So if you think about it that way, you can still accomplish the goal, and you can do it without it costing you anything for all that traffic. You don't pay for clicks on your ad. You don't pay for views of your ad. You get paid for the AdSense that makes your pages rise in the first place so your ads can be seen. Nothing stops us from selling these websites. We can put a minimum on it, so there's no way somebody can buy it cheaper than we want to sell it for. It's not possible. And if we keep building value in the meantime and we decide now it's too valuable for that sales price, we can take it down and put it up with a better offer. You get it? So that's amazing. And then what's also amazing is if I look back at the sold websites later and guys are still using my content, the ones that I made onto the websites, that means they're in it for the AdSense streams, right? Well, we got our backlinks that pointed the other projects going forward, your projects, the ones you're buying, you know, so every new guy who's buying is benefiting going forward, right? So this works evenly for everyone. Everyone who gets in, the next guys benefit you. The next guys benefit them, which benefits you. The next guys benefit them, which benefits them, which benefits you. Next guys benefit them, which benefits them, which benefits them, which benefits you. Everybody gets to have their 1 to 5 links going wherever they want for their own things, but then this is happening anyway. And what's my point about that? Say I watch some of the sold sites. I check SpyFlow on some of those sites that got sold long time ago, say, and I see the curves are starting to drop. And I check the websites and the guys kept my content on there. I don't want the curves to drop. I don't want them to go, oh, it's starting to lose income. We're going to have to just auction it off soon. I don't want them to do that because I want the pages to go away. So you know what I'll do? I'll quietly go in there and improve the pages so that Google sees that we're still there. I'll make some changes, append some stuff, improve some stuff, add some schema, something. And so their curve that was starting to drop, oh, magically it starts rising again. Okay, let's not sell it. Heck, let's keep enjoying the ride, right? Once I know what they want, there's no reason for me to let them lose it if I know they're going to keep holding on to it. They'll keep holding on to it. You know what's amazing? It's the same thing we could do for ourselves, but we also got the money of 20 months paid in advance or 25 months paid in advance or 30 months paid in advance of just offing it in order to get the next websites rolling up. I don't really care which websites today are the ones making me money, but I care how many of them I've got. And the more we can flip the websites, the multiplicative more we can choose to buy. Every time you get your cut from the website sale, you can decide how much you want to come back in with for more and aim for 10 times over. if you were trying to buy a house and you started with 1,500 and you could get 10 times back in 3 months, that brings you to 15,000. That's like a down payment in some small town, right? Or maybe a medium size. You might be able to do that in South Bend or Elkhart, Indiana, something like that. Well, not Indianapolis, but I don't know, Evansville, right? Say you go a little further though. Say you roll it for another 3 months, you get from 15K to 150K. Now you can put down payments on homes in Chicago, in Seattle, because these are $1 million homes and you're dropping 150K. Say you roll it over again. Then you've got the kind of money you can put down on real homes in the biggest places you want, whether it's Hawaii, San Diego, New York City, kind of up in the sky. What do you want? We're talking about 9 months to a year in, okay? And really you only spent $1,500 and bided your time and watched these curves and just partook of the AdSense money on the way up and the flip, and then decided how much more you're coming back in with for more. And if you're making money on the AdSense money and you're like, let's scale that, and you can pull together $1,500 from your AdSense money, let's get another one going. Now you've got double, you know? And everything you get goes next in line, next in line, next in line. And everyone's projects are gonna keep boosting them up in the order bought. I had a guy say, what's the difference between buying 3 at once and 1 per month for 3 months? I say you buy 3 at once, the next guy who comes in, he's going to be backlinking you. If it's not enough power, don't worry, because I know how to offset. So the next guy who comes in, he's going to backlink him. But we can also use some backlinking over here. And the next guy who comes in, he'll backlink him, which backlinks him, which backlinks you. But we'll use some of that juice going over here. Somebody comes in with 3, I might just have links going up to you as well as them. We'll see. I'll figure it out. I'll make sure that it works on the part of all the next guys. We can do so many industries so deeply. 40 websites per industry being churned through, no problem. Then it's amazing. And so the difference is simply, if you bought now and then you bought later, there's going to be guys in the middle. So not all 3 of your sites are as powerful anymore. One of them is, some of these guys are coming up and now you're down here. So then the new guys are pushing you up, which pushes them up, which pushes you up. But then you coming underneath them, right? So it's just do what you can as soon as you can. That's it. That's the way of the world, right? No matter what MLM you look at that's based on fairness, it's really something like that. Do what you can as soon as you can. And in our case, we're doing it by rolling next buyers to backlink the buyers that came before. There's so much room. We have so many pages we can do that with. We can cover a lot of websites going up, and we can make it benefit all the websites on the way up because that's external authority links say, okay? We'll do it in a way that Google likes because we want this to go on forever. And the fact that we can control the sale price and the sale time and we can keep adding value to the sites on the way up very easily means there's not going to be a problem. This is by now something that we have seen tested, tried, and proven over and over again. All these guys belong to the same company. Some or all of these are the same guys. Most, if not all of these, are the exact same guys because they're hosting the same places with the same templates, doing the same stuff. They know the game, okay? And so they're making tons of money because they're not just showing up once for how many ounces in a cup. They're showing up like 6 times for how many ounces in a cup. And they're picking up all the traffic for all those keywords that they're showing up for through those sites. I mean, try to imagine how much that's worth to a buyer all at once if you could rack up all those sites, monthly traffic, and you count it up what all that traffic is worth. I don't know what to say. It's insane. Huge amount of power there. And we have total control over it now and going forward, and we can still update all the websites no one's touched in the future to benefit them, as well as make sure to continue benefiting us in the meantime, okay? Because if they're still using our content, they're content agnostic. They just want the sites to be powerful. We can do that and benefit ourselves, even if they don't know, and they won't care, as long as this curve stays up as high as possible, as long as possible, so they don't have to lose the site. So, yeah, I mean, this is amazing. All right, get in as soon as you can. Let me know if you're ready to roll. I don't have payment buttons up. I'm sending live money requests out to people who ask and putting you guys in the system in that order as you pay. So let me know if you're ready to roll. And now is the time. I'm pushing this hard for a reason. Now is the time. All right.